Give me a mountain to move, and I'll prove that it's a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror, and somebody said, "Wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet. That life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day." I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, "Wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet. That life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day."
And a very special day we do have. It is a finally Friday, fantastic Friday. That means my partner in crime, my co-host this morning, Laura Lee. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, Miss
Happy
Becky.
Friday.
Frigid Friday.
Frigid Friday. Oh,
I'm sticking with frigid
I
today.
know. Well, actually, it was supposed to be. I'll tell you what they said. There could be. We're supposed to have snow.
I
so.
know. I'm
Sorry.
bah.
All right. Okay. Don't
okay.
put those snow boots up
You
yet.
know what? I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Exactly.
It'll be okay.
Yeah. And in the hot seat this morning, we're excited to have him in the studio. We have Bill Spencer Pierce. Good morning, Bill.
Hi, Becky.
And it's actually usually like I feel like the microphone. I feel like you could get up and start moving around. I don't usually see you sitting very often.
I'm enthusiastic.
Yes, and when I think of Bill Spencer Pierce, I see him up moving. Always doing something. Going
I'm
somewhere.
mobile.
Yeah, very good. Well, we're glad to have you in the studio this morning. Laura, let's thank our sponsors.
Absolutely. We have Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Fox Freely Wealth Management.
Thank you to our great sponsors. I want to remind you that tomorrow is the last Lenten breakfast. If you want to attend, it's a good fellowship time. It's going to be at Southern Hills Church, and that starts at 8 a.m. It's the Lenten season, and it's the last Lenten breakfast of this season. It's a free breakfast. It's sponsored by Outside the Walls, a ministry of Washington County. A hand up, not a handout. And it's at Southern Hills Church, and that's at 1645 South State Road 135, 8 a.m. in the morning. The last one, and good fellowship for sure. So put that on your calendar. Also, today is the 8th day of April. Today is, okay, hang on. I did not pre-read these, but when you have a dog and your dog is sitting next to you and it passes gas day.
Oh, land.
Okay.
We have bulldogs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't even get me started on that. Yeah, that's a whole nother. That's coffee club after dark. Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
National Draw a Picture of Bird Day. Now, your wife is very talented and her artsy. Does she ever draw birds?
I think she would like to draw birds. I know she always wanted her student. The only contest they didn't win over there was the National Duck Stamp contest.
Yeah,
you paint a duck.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think they entered a couple times, but that was one of her things she always wanted to do with the kids. I don't know if she paints birds or draws birds, but she likes birds.
Okay. Well, let me ask you: can you draw a bird?
I can draw no.
I love that. Laura, can you draw a bird?
I used to always love to try to draw tea.
Yeah.
That was about as in depth as I got with birds.
Yeah. If you do that like in the sky, you make like an M.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Or a V. See, I could do that. A bunch
there
of
you go.
V's
Yeah.
flying away.
Yeah, there you
See,
go.
that's a bird.
Yeah, we paint birds. We do that. Look
See,
at
we
that.
can do that.
Yeah.
Yes, we do draw birds.
International Day of Feng Shui awareness. You know, that's where you put your furniture, you arrange it, and I'm kind of into that, kind of somewhat. You know what I mean? Until I get nervous, and that's what I do when I get nervous. I move furniture. When Becky's world is rocked, you'll see furniture being moved. Okay? Yeah. Everybody has their things. Okay? That's what I do. Okay? But anyway, but the feng shui, and it's really kind of cool if you look it up to see how to, you know, like if you towards the west, east, or north, you know, your couch or your furniture, your chairs and stuff. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. All right, feng shui. Yeah. All right, this is also National All Is Ours Day. All is Ours Day. National Dive Bar Day.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah. Of course, it would have to be a little bit warmer for that. National Dog Fighting Awareness Day. All right. Your dog,
Passing,
your little
yes,
princess,
and-
probably the way she gets treated.
She's a disaster.
Yeah.
Disaster.
National Poet in a Cupcake Day. Love that. Bill, if I was going to fix you a cupcake, what's your favorite kind of cupcake?
Well, I think it's hard to beat chocolate. Pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, I agree. Laura?
Annie.
Yeah. Whatever's in front of me.
Yeah, more than one if
Yeah.
possible.
Oh, I like the way you guys are
Sometimes
thinking.
you got a good cup of coffee.
Yeah. This is also Step into the Spotlight Day. How many times have you done that, Bill?
Oh, yeah, a few.
And Laura?
More than enough.
Yeah.
More than enough.
Trading Cards for Grown-Up Day.
Oh.
Zoo Lovers Day. What's your favorite pet at the zoo, Bill?
Oh God, well, zebras. I like zebras. I think, and I'm fascinated by the elephants. Just the size
Yeah.
of those guys.
They're usually entertaining too.
Yeah.
Or what are you?
Probably the orangutans. I really
Oh,
like
that is
those.
yeah.
They're just a hot mess.
So yesterday I had a news story, real quick, about a gorilla. Okay, this gorilla, he's a teenager for a gorilla, which I don't know exactly what age that would be, but he's a teenager. And at the zoo that he's at, I can't remember which zoo it was, I'll have to look it up. But everyone is showing him their phones and showing like videos, and so he has become where he's like obsessed with this. So he comes to the window and people show him this. Well, what they're doing though is what the zookeepers are upset about. He's not interacting with the other gorillas. Like he's going to be a silverback, this male that he's not, but he's really very sweet now. I feel like Ferdinand. He's becoming sweet because he's liking the videos and he likes to watch the phones. So they had to put a rope a distance so that he couldn't get to the glass right up there to see the people's phones that people are doing, because people like to do that. And it's interaction. Of course, we like that, but whenever the other gorillas come in, he's not responding to them. So that's not, I thought that was interesting. So even gorillas have the tendency to be on their phones.
Yep. I guess.
Put your phones down. I think it's easier to put the rope than to try to tell people, right?
Yeah,
We know that. And as a teacher, Bill, put your phones away. Make sure you're not on your phones. You probably said that a few times.
Well, the best part was the kids that they would have their choir folder or their music down here, but the ones that wear the glasses, when they wear, you've got the reflection of the phone in their glasses.
Oh.
I'm like, hey sister, you realize I can see the reflection of your phone in your glasses. You need to put that away.
I don't think you missed a beat, Bill.
I missed
really
a few.
I think you were a lot wiser because I know some stories.
I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you do too. We won't. If I brought them up to you, I hope you forgot some of them. But yeah, let's hope that the good old memory is not quite there on that part. But anyway,
I guess I don't know what
I just
she's
mean
talking about.
I just mean he's had a lot of students.
We have had a lot of students.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people have touched a lot of people's lives, and that's what we've got here today. We're going to be talking about some great things coming up, and I'm going to let you just start. I'm going to put you in the spotlight.
All right. Well, thanks, Becky. And I'm here today because we're having a concert tomorrow evening at the True Blood Performing Arts Center. That's the auditorium at Salem Middle School, and it's called the Bohemian Supper Club Orchestra in concert. It's not a supper. It's not a club either, but it is a group of musicians who have agreed to come in and do a concert for the community. So it's a community affair. We used to have a program at Salem High School through the choir. We did about 14 or 15 of these coffee house shows where we did a lot of pop music and so forth. This is an adult thing. There's some alumni, of course, lots of alumni from the program, but these are people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and then some of us seasoned citizens. Um, but we've got a 14-piece band and a string quartet on top of that and a bunch of singers. And we're doing this for the Salem Education Foundation. So the deal is they're going to make money for their scholarship funds. So it's a little like the cicadas. The cicadas just come and go. This is an ensemble that only appears twice a year, and one of them is tonight because we gotta practice this stuff.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow night we'll do the two shows. So we have a show at 5 and a show at 8 tomorrow, and it's $10 a seat, and I think it'll be fun.
Oh my goodness, so much fun. So hang on. So have you practiced prior to tonight, or?
No.
See that you
awesome.
know it's insane that you do this.
Well,
Okay.
we know that.
No, I mean, it's hilarious, but it works. It pulls.
Well, now that's not the way we would do with the students. Of course, we would work about 6 weeks.
No,
Yeah. But these are pros, and these people are. We've been through the wars, a lot of us together. Now, and we practice individually, but this is it's been a remote thing. I write the arrangements and send them out to the folks and PDF them. And they have questions. They say, "Hey, what about this part here? Am I supposed to play or what have you?" But these are pros, and pros. People can go in, the night before. That's a professional experience. So, we've had a couple of very informal gatherings with a couple of the rhythm section people, but yeah, it's basically kind of a remote operation, and everybody shows up and we put it together and see what we have.
I love it. No, I love it. Well, let's kind of go back. Okay, let's. You've got a great history and the Bohemian Supper Club. Let's talk
Sure.
about that, because how many? I don't know if we've ever had you on actually for that, or maybe you have, but what a great opportunity, and to teach our students at Salem Community Schools the different different songs and different. You had them singing and different themes.
Mhm.
Of course, we always got excited to find out what the theme was going to be for that.
Sure.
And
Well-
how important? I mean, where's your passion with this? Tell us a little about that.
Well, I was as a youngster, music was my formative thing, and I always wanted to do all this. So, I'm classically trained and all that. Being a music teacher and all, but the history of the supper club essentially is I had a little vocal jazz group over at the high school, and we didn't really have a lot of places to perform, so I thought, well, let's have a little coffee house show. So I put together a few kids, and we did it. We had 67 people. It was a one-night special, and Mr. Dan Mullins ran sound for me. Okay, and Mr. Dan Mullins is singing tomorrow night, by the way.
Oh my God!
Yes,
No,
it's
that's awesome.
well, it's worth the price of admission alone.
Absolutely.
I guarantee it. But at any rate, but Dan did that with me, and it was kind of a throw together affair. But we bought a bunch of coffee, and we sold some stuff, and it just grew from there. It grew into a 4-show. It was a 4-night thing. It was sold out every night. It's just kind of a real big event at the school. As far as like the thinking behind it, my original thinking was, I wanted to showcase my jazz people, but in every school, being the band director, which I have been, or the choir director, you always have a lot of students who are like garage band people. They're singing and playing and they're doing their own stuff. And I think many times these students do not feel a connection to the structured music program, the curriculum, right? So I thought, well, what if we got some of these people involved doing this and meet them where they are, which is pop stuff, and see if we can't kind of get them into the choir for a more broad experience. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So we got bass players and guitar pickers and drummers, and sure enough, after doing this for a year, maybe they would join the choir. And so we were trying to do a little outreach with the choir there and get some of these people there. They love music.
Yeah.
But I think kids sometimes have preconceived notions. Well, it's that one kind of music, and I don't like that, and so that was the thinking. And I've always been interested in popular song, so it was a pop thing that we would do. We did a well balanced variety of music, all kinds of music, but for this, it's a pop thing and tunes people recognize and have heard on the radio.
See, I love that. Do you feel, and when you pick out the different songs, you pick out songs a lot of times that are something we've not heard in a long time. I mean,
sure.
You always get the unique ones, and I like that. You know what I mean? The ones that the disc jockeys have been spinning for years, but for some reason we just haven't heard them,
sure.
in a while, and it always amazes me on that.
Well, what I do is I pick the songs for the people.
Yeah.
Okay, the singers.
That? Yeah, I know you.
Well, you got to know them. You got to know them. You got to know that their strengths, their weaknesses, if they have any weaknesses. But you have to know what they do well and what register they're going to sing in. That's going to be in the pocket, for them. And it's, I don't know. I don't know. It's like casting a play.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for the person that can communicate this song and put them in a comfort zone. Of course, when I was teaching, you want to put them in a comfort zone, but you want to put them in a little discomfort zone so they grow.
Yeah.
And that's why we would do, classical stuff and, foreign language and whatnot. But, basically it's kind of like casting a play.
Yeah.
Find the people that fit the tunes, and that's what we've done here. And now these folks, most of these singers, I gave them an opportunity to pick at least one of their songs, something they wanted to do, and then I kind of picked the rest because I know what they do and I know what they can sell and what they can't.
I think that just your talent on that is unreal because I think you do push, and because I've seen some of the supper clubs I've seen out of there. I mean, like some of the notes that these children are hitting is just, and completely probably didn't realize they could hit some of this and some of the different ways they're moving their voice and using their voice. And I am totally just amazed at this.
Well, they got better. And of course, that was the thing. Of course, when we were doing school, of course, I can say this now. All this stuff was, just a way to get them to practice.
Well, no one knew that though.
Yeah, well, we didn't tell them that. But the whole point is, we would do this in the fall. Then we did a kind of a Broadway thing in the spring, and the students that took advantage of several of those opportunities, instead of making one jump a year to the next level, they might make two jumps.
Yeah.
And hey, pretty soon they get pretty good. So it's not so much what I did; it's what they did as individuals preparing this stuff. But it's fun disguise, or it's learning disguised as fun.
Yeah.
At least with the kids. Now these are grown-ups.
Yeah.
But this is fun for us too.
Sure, definitely. Now, is there a song that, just hearing my voice, is there a song that you would put me to? What song would you put me to?
Betty Davis Eyes.
Oh my gosh! That'd be Stevie Nicks.
No,
that'd
that's that one lady.
Who is that?
Look it up on your phone. Betty Davis Eyes. Kim Carnes.
Kim Carnes. Oh
Yes.
my gosh!
That's for you. And then the other one for
Wait.
you is, she's going to write them down.
I am. No, I'm.
Okay, there's
That'd be
this-
great. That'd be great. Absolutely.
There's another one for you that is perfect, but I can't remember the gal's name. It was like a one-hit wonder. Jane had the album. I'm sure I'll think of it on the way home.
Oh my gosh! I love it. You have to text me. I want to know. What should I?
I can't
where
remember.
should I- Oh,
She wants to be part of your Bohemian Supper Club.
I think I
Well,
want to be part of it. Yeah. I
You
do.
never know.
Yeah. Little.
You never know.
I want that spotlight on right over here. No, I'd be like, no, not to be working with all these greats, but no, I know it's fun because I know, like, okay, I know what I do here at the station, and I'm a voice. I love voices,
Sure.
and I take pride that if I hear a voice, let's say in another room, that I can take, that I usually know who that is. I'm really, and I know that if I do that, I can't even imagine what your mind is thinking when you hear voices. And
Oh, I don't know.
do you ever sit like let's say in an office or something, or let's say even in a doctor's office, and you hear someone talk and you think, oh my goodness, you know?
Well, yes.
I mean, I know I do.
Yeah.
I'm like, you'd be great.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I had a boy over here at the high school. I recruited him like 4 years ago. I never did get him. He had the most gorgeous bass voice. He's a true bass. And there's basses and there's true basses. There aren't very many true basses out there. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of
That's
us.
when my husband, he goes into a certain face, and that's when he gets his bass.
Well, there's a
When he's singing, that is, I mean, you can.
Well, there's
see
a lot
when
of
he's
us that
trying, right?
there's a lot of us that can hit those notes.
Yeah.
But then there's guys that can shake the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're few and far between. But there was a kid over at the high school. He's graduated now, but I was after him for 4 years. I would keep. He was in my one of my classes, and I said hello, and hello. I can't even do hello. I can't even do this. And I'm like, wait a minute. And so I talked to him about. I said, listen, you've got something here. We got to do this. And he wasn't going to do it. And finally, I gave up on that. But I said, you've got to look into broadcasting. I said, you're a natural.
Yeah.
I said, people don't just have these voices.
Exactly. Yeah.
But, he's like a welder. I don't know what he's doing. But he's a great guy. But, sometimes you hear that. And sometimes you hear, like, melodious females that have a little, it's like, wow. When she laughs, it's like a song.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I know she could sing.
No doubt. I love that. And I love that we're sharing that, because I, sometimes when I say to people, I get like looks, but but the voices, they're so unique, and everybody's unique in their voice.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think it's awesome. So we did name drop a little bit Dan Mullins, which I'm so excited.
Sure.
And I'm sure he'll be. I can't even. I'd love to know his wardrobe. I'd like to see what his wardrobe is going to be.
It'll be.
It's going to be flash.
It'll be memorable.
Yeah. I love that. So, what's some other names that we know?
Local names, Greg McCurdy, of course, is the science teacher extraordinaire and guitarist, and a fine musician. And, he and I, pretty early on into this project back in the school days, he and I decided, what if we had a live band? And it kind of went from there. So he'll be performing, and he's got some interesting people. He ran into a string quartet. Now, this is, you got to understand, this all happened during COVID. This was all planned during COVID. And that's the celebrate, the title of the concert, Celebrate, Educate. The celebrate part is the fact that we get to do something like this again. Mm-hmm. But Greg was taking a walk down New Albany near his home, and he's walking down the street, and there's a string quartet practicing on somebody's porch. And he's like, kind of fascinated. So he goes up, and of course he introduces himself. And Greg being, of course. And then so Greg being a Beatles fan, says, "You guys don't know Yesterday, do you?" And then, "Oh yeah, we know it." And, "Well, let's try it." Okay, so anyway, so there he is on the porch with the string quartet, and he's singing Yesterday, and they did play in the string quartet part. So at any rate, he told me this story, and I was planning this concert, and I said, "Hey, Greg, let's have them come? Can you persuade them to come play yesterday? And then, of course, from there, it was an easy sell. They're going to play 5 numbers. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so, and these are pros. I mean, it's a little semi-professional outfit. So anyhow, there's one of your local people. Back to your local people. Oh gosh, there's so many singers and such. One guy, Sam Borka, will be playing. He told me to tell you hi.
Oh, hello, Sam. Yeah.
He is
Lord,
stuck.
that's-
He is stuck in LaGuardia right now. He's supposed to be here at 5 for rehearsal. Looks like he'll be in Indianapolis at 5.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
But-
They're playing for
But we'll wing it.
yeah.
He's a pro. We got
hardly
it.
Ever, yeah.
We got it. But the Sam's coming home for this is personal favor for me
I love it.
from Sam,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's pretty special for me.
definitely. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so much fun. And I love, I love when like Greg McCurdy seeing this and stepping out and saying, what great, what great talent. Let's put this in. Because we have a lot, like you said, you have people that play in the porch. And I've even been at, in Clarksville at some of the outside malls
Mhm.
there, or the shopping center there. And there was a gentleman playing the violin.
Yes.
And he's fantastic.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my goodness.
He played My Heart Will Go On.
Yeah.
Yes. I stood and just listened to
Yeah.
him.
But
Oh my goodness.
Laura and I will go get him.
Yeah. Well, you see,
We'll go see. I mean, these are people. This is talent.
we don't have enough of this in our town, and this is my little project, I guess. I want to try and promote. We want to try and promote live music in our town, and live music, and then also kind of show that, hey, look, with live music, you could also make money for something good. And for example, Chuck Hedrick. Now Chuck's not going to play. He was supposed to play, but he had a conflict. But Chuck organized this thing where they had all these bands in over the summer and played at to make money for the John Hay Center.
Absolutely.
See, and that's a very public spirited thing, and that's an example of how what we can do with live music to bring people together and further a cause that is bigger than ourselves.
I agree.
So,
Yeah.
there's all this. It all enters into this.
Well, and when you're given a talent, I believe it's a God thing, and I think that when you're you use it or lose it, and definitely share it with everyone, and just like that gentleman that we talked about, the violin that's playing this, this is he's so good, and I think to it's such a treat, and I think for you to actually organize it and get so many of our area in our community people back together. I'm going to use this phrase, but the universe could explode because we have so many great people that have planted seeds and been a big part of the musical program at Salem and in the community.
Sure.
And so how awesome to bring them all together and organize this. It's almost like, why have we not done this a long time ago, right?
Yeah. Well, I could say this. We planned this over a year ago, and when I called up these people and said, "Hey, would you do this?" They're all thrilled because nobody had a chance to perform at all.
Yeah.
I was just talking to an actor friend of mine from Chicago. He's working a camp he's doing something down at the University of Evansville for a couple months, but he was saying, "This is my first job in 2 years." So the people in the performing arts, have had. It's been very, very frustrating for them. I'm not a performer, but really, but they really are excited about doing something for people. Yeah.
Well, and Bill, I'm going to brag on you a lot today because you and I did a couple of years where we put together a Christmas program and we gave the proceeds to Shop with the Cop for our police. And that was so much fun. Had a great time. And it was just kind of variety. And we had a great time at Christmas. And we had those that normally sing the rock and roll, singing, "Mary, Did You Know?" Remember, we completely out of their comfort zone. It was really cool. So I know you put a lot, but in that I saw you in action, and you put a lot into everything you do. So as far as this, have you been like personally, like getting all the instruments and how has this all been? Give me
Well,
behind the
I'm an arranger. What I do is write music, for specific combinations. So, my job is to do the arrangements, pick the material, get everybody on board, um, write the arrangements, and and kind of direct the whole thing. That's my role. So, I've been doing it. I don't know. I didn't really start till maybe December. I started writing around Christmas. I started writing
so you
and
have
stuff.
yeah.
So I knock out 2 or 3 songs a week when I can. So that's kind of my part. And we just do this again remotely. They get the stuff, and we stick to the recordings because our singers and everybody has to use a reference. Here's how this is going to go, and so we're 95% true to the recordings. You know.
Yeah. Of course, it makes it a little more exciting when there are a little bit of like.
She wants you to have a hiccup in it.
I know, no.
Oh, there will be. I guarantee we'll have
but
hiccups.
here's the thing: the audience will never know it. I mean, it will be. There will be.
Well, let's hope so.
No, I've watched you. I love that. That's what I hope. Because, yes, well, you see, I mean, you're doing. Let's go years ago. You're almost doing things that I don't think have been done before. Bringing everybody. Here's your assignment. Everybody. You're basically. Everybody's the free agent doing their own thing, and then, but we're going to bring it all together here.
Yeah. Well, it's just the goodwill and good nature of these people. And I will say this: I think it's important to note that out of this outfit, now I haven't counted them, but there's at least 6 or 7 either teachers or former teachers, educators. I've got Bill Wslm, my friend from Paoli, who's like the John Wooden of marching bands in Indiana. He's won who knows what 10 state championships. I have no idea. Bill's going to play trombone for me. I've got a fella from Mitchell who just retired as a band director, Hank Winsack. He's going to play one of the sax parts, and it's just people that they understand what we're trying to do, and they're willing to give up 2 nights of their life to do it.
Now, I don't want to give too much away because we want people to come, and we're going to give the information on how they can get tickets stuff. But at the end, will everybody be on stage doing one? Did you bring we are the world?
Yeah, not really. I used to do that with the kids because it was kind of a thing. Not really. We're bringing back the core group for the last number, but I don't know. There's a lot of variety. There's lots of times when there's a whole bunch of people playing. There's some smaller moments. So not really. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. And what will you be performing? Do you want to tell?
Oh, you mean? Oh, I just pick at the piano. I'm not really a piano player, but I can hunt and peck. So I that's what I do, and mostly just kicking songs off. If we get off track, try and pull us back on track and kind of manage that part. And endings are always a challenge because without a lot of rehearsal time, there could be confusion.
You can only hope.
Right. So at any rate, that's kind of my role.
Are you going to be emceeing it?
No. I have a young lady, Abby Corbin Harrod.
Oh, I love Abby. Yeah.
I'm a big Abby fan.
Well, you should be because she's really.
Well,
I am too. I'm Abby fan.
Well, I'll tell you, she sang with us. I recruited her as a middle school kid, and she wanted nothing to do with it. But anyway, I finally persuaded her as a freshman. Hey, try choir for a year. I think you'd like it. Well, she ended up loving it, and she worked with me a lot in theater, and she's very talented. She's a realtor now, and doing real well. And she's in Madison, but she works for a realty firm in Louisville, and she's just tearing it up. She's doing great. But I, at first we weren't going to have an MC, but I thought, I better. So I called her up. Would she do it? Abby's a natural performer. There are very few people that have the, I don't know what it even that she has, but she's a natural, and she's pleasant and fun to listen to and watch. And we've been through the wars together. We've been through all kinds of disasters, and she's pretty unflappable. So
Yeah. Well, and she was raised. She had some really good seeds that were planted. Her dad, Elvis. Have you ever seen him?
Well, I've heard him sing.
Yeah.
I've not seen him actually
he
do that.
performs Elvis. And
I would not surprise me.
No, he came to like three different years of our birthday parties, and I mean, he is awesome.
Well, see, now he's one that's got the beautiful speaking voice, like you talk about.
Yeah.
And you hear that guy talk, you say, man, that guy can sing.
Yeah. And he can perform too. He's got the moves too. So yeah.
Please, I don't want to.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Visual picture. I'm not sure I want that. No, I'm friends with Terry.
So Abby got a great start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, the family, everybody's supporting her. But yeah, so I'm with you on that, and I think she'll do a great job. And there will be those moments when you're going to have to tell her to stall for time, stretch, and then
she knows
what she's going to. And that's where
she knows. It'll all work out.
I love this. Okay, so how do we get tickets? Tell us who are we wearing what?
Well, the Bohemian Supper Club Orchestra in concert tomorrow. That's Saturday, April 9. It is at Salem Middle School. Now, this is not at the high school. This is at the middle school, the True Blood Performing Arts Center. There's a 5 o'clock show. There's an 8 o'clock show. $10 a seat. As I am told this morning, there's a handful of seats left for tickets at the door for the 5 o'clock show. There's a few. There might be maybe 50. The 8 o'clock show, I think there's a few more left. So people have a tendency to snap these up, though. So when you can get tickets, if you want to go, I would suggest get a ticket, because sometimes these sell out and there isn't a spot. But tickets are available at Salem High School during the school day today. Likewise at Salem Apothecary, Mid-Southern Savings, and Loy and Fordyce Insurance. And they can get tickets there. If they're a friend of Bill and they have me on their phone, they can text me and I'll fix them up. But that's just friends with Bill. I would encourage people to go ahead and get the tickets in advance, because they are moving fast. It's a 90-minute show, maybe a hair more. It's a family-friendly show. It's all good, clean stuff. And it'll be a blast. So we have the 90-minute show at 5, another one at 8. And the doors will open about a half an hour before showtime, or maybe 45 minutes. I just told them, hey, if people are backed up, get them in there.
Right.
We're trying to avoid bottlenecks.
Well, and also it's going to be cooler.
Yeah.
So, everybody's going to be, we're all going to be wanting to, run in there, get in there. But, no, I think this is fantastic, and I love that you have 2 shows so that accommodate, different schedules for folks.
Right.
Or some people might want to see it again. You know what I mean?
Well, we're hoping, I'm kind of hoping, of course, you don't want people on their phones the whole time, but I'm kind of hoping the first crowd sends out a note or two to their buddies, hey, you got to check this out. Because I think it's going to be pretty fun. There's a certain element of chance, but I think it'll largely be successful and probably sound pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, it sounds like a lot of fun. And of course, going back, you had spoke earlier, the proceeds, it's actually a benefit. So
it's a total benefit. It didn't cost a lot to do. The money goes to the Salem Education Foundation, and over 30 years, they have put over $2.5 million in the pockets of 1,500 Salem graduates. Pretty special.
Yeah, that's right.
So Jennifer Martin is kind of our liaison there. So the money goes to primarily to them. I think they're going to send a little bit to the choir scholarship. We have a choir alumni scholarship, and we have a Greg McCurdy scholarship. So I think probably going to be a little money going those directions too. But overall, to those funds. And I think it's important because, some of the stuff that they normally do to raise money, they have not been able to do.
Right.
Like the Taste of Salem.
Yeah.
I don't think they've done it for 2 years.
No. You're right.
So,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of timely in that way.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and you're right. I mean, there's been a lot of things have been put on hold. There's been a lot of, but we know that, you still need that money flow for,
Right.
to help out. So what a blessing. I mean, for you to come up with this idea and say, hey, let's do this and give back, and you're giving back to the community.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Well, and this is what music is. Music's it's the power of music, man. And music is a powerful force for good.
Yeah.
Can be.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and just like I believe when you're given a gift of music and you can do this, then you should use it or lose it. I mean,
Yeah.
put it to use, and you've got some greats going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. For sure.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, and it's at the middle school. I don't think anybody has any right here by the school systems in middle school for anybody outside listening that would like to come, because it sounds like you've got even from Paley and Mitchell. You've got some.
Well, yeah, we got some
alumni,
people
too.
coming from all over. Madison, I've got my lead trumpet from when I used to be the band director at Madison. My lead trumpet, who went on to play with the Marine Band, he's playing trumpet for me.
Oh wow.
So I tried to get, I was cherry picking my best people, So.
This is going to be good.
We need
Yeah.
the invite back.
I know. Well, I'm sure it was
Well,
not for the bell.
she's got to work up that Kim
Yeah, I'm going
Carnes
to do
tune.
the Betty Davis eyes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I have to work on my mood.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to work
Right.
on that. No, I think it's going to be wonderful, and I think it's great. And Bill, how many years did you teach at Salem?
16.
16, and before that you taught.
Well, I taught at Madison for 8 years or so as the band director. Prior to that, I was self-employed for a good while as an arranger of music and a consultant for school districts all over the place. And then I started my first 10 years in the business as a band director in Indiana and California. And then I kind of wanted to go my own way and do this writing full time. So I did that for like 8 or 9 years. And I decided about 25 years ago, I decided, I want to get back to teaching. Well, I was alone all the time. I was like doing telephone consultations with people and, maybe occasionally go work with a group or something. But, I got tired of being alone.
Oh, yeah.
I decided I got to do something else. So I decided to go back to teaching.
You went full throttle.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you went from one extreme to the other completely. But as far as a teacher, and I guess all the years that you gave at Salem Community Schools, we were very blessed to have you, and because you could have gone anywhere. So I guess what were some of the things that you were most excited about? I guess like
Coming here to Salem.
Yeah.
Well, my wife had worked here for almost 20 years prior, so I was well acquainted and had been around, and my boys were growing up in the schools. And, I wanted to be with my boys who were middle schoolish age at that time, or early high school. So, I was attracted by that. But, there's certain things here, and facilities are important. And I told myself back in my 20s, I'm never taking a job again that doesn't have an auditorium. I'm not doing it. Because there's a lot of schools that, they don't have an auditorium. Maybe they got a cafetorium or some sort of a hybrid thing. And I just decided, I'm never going to do that again because that you have to have the facilities. So I was attracted by the facilities, to be honest. And like where we're playing tomorrow night, it's a good auditorium. It's a good spot. Sounds pretty good room. But I think, this, after, by this point, by the time I came to Salem to teach, we had made this our home, and it's home. It's home now. So.
But you think about all of the students and all the lives you've touched, and that excitement to see maybe, I was raised around all different kinds of music because of my family background.
Oh, yeah.
But so many children have not been, I know like when the girls would have people come spend the night or something, we'd be listening to different music, there were songs that they had never heard. So how exciting as a teacher, when you can introduce new types of music.
Yeah. Well, that's had the privilege of it. It's been a privilege for me, So, I mean, I'm lucky to
Yeah.
have had the chance to do all that.
And we know that at Salem, we're investing in supporting, and we're going to be having some new additions here with our safe rooms. And,
Yeah.
and is that as exciting too for you as a teacher?
Yes, that's the most exciting thing that I can think of. I told you before the show, that if I had to pick the one thing that was significant in my career, it would be the fact that we finally got that done. It's immaterial that I'm not in there doing it. In there, that doesn't matter. What matters is we got that done, because that indicates a very firm commitment on the part of the schools and the school boards to continue music at a high level and expand it if possible. So that's a big investment. It's a pretty happy day for me.
Definitely. But we know that it's going to be a great investment. And it's going to be, this is our future.
Absolutely.
And that's something you want to offer, to every student, to have every opportunity to try and see, what they like and
Right.
experience,
Right.
And so many of us, and so many, kids maybe sitting in the shower, sing, or whatever, when in their own room or whatever, but then to step out and to, share that voice and share that talent. I mean, it's hope.
Right. Well, it's a great opportunity for them, and I'm real glad we've done that for them. And we're keeping up. It's we're not keeping up with it. The Joneses have been ahead of us for a long time on this. Without a music facility in the high school proper. So we're just catching up with the Joneses, and it was time.
Exactly, for sure. Well, that's going to be exciting for sure. Now, Bill, I hate to put you on the spot, but I do that sometimes.
Sure.
So this is, if this goes over so well, is this something you might make it annual, or?
Well, I'd like.
Once we get a dart like Becky, let's get.
No. We would like that, but we'll have to see what the Salem Education Foundation people, how they feel about it. This is something we'd like. I could tell you I have 2023 and 2024 already in the can. They're already planned, so.
I love that. No, I love that. Yeah.
But
no, I think so.
But I've been approached by people. Hey, I want to sing next year. So I mean, we'll have to see if the Education Foundation feels that this is a worthwhile project.
Oh, I think so. I think, and there's nothing like this, or not too much around here like this, that you're going to have that opportunity. You don't have to drive. You don't have to drive. You don't have to cross the river.
Right.
You don't have to drive, and you're going to get some great talent, great concert, and we love to go to those.
Right.
And so this to me is a win-win for our community and surrounding communities.
Yeah. So we're optimistic, and we would like to do it again in some form. I've got some ideas.
I'm glad to hear you're brewing on that.
Yeah, I'm brewing.
Okay.
I'm brewing.
Keep brewing.
I'm brewing.
It does. I'll personally say thank you for organizing this, because it has been, and I know trying to get it's crazy when everybody, life is just, and to get somebody's time.
Yes.
That's the most precious,
Yeah.
And to grab all these people from all around. I mean, and to get them pick a date and a time that everybody can be there.
And it's significant. And we've had some bumps, and had to replace some people, things like that. But I was telling Abby last night, we were talking, and I said, these people have all given they've all given up about 20 hours of their own time.
Yeah.
So you take that, multiply by that by 25 some people, you're talking some hours.
Yeah,
and it's a big donation.
It is, absolutely. Yeah.
So but I think they'll enjoy it. So we tried to pick things. We tried to pick things that they will walk out of that the performers will walk out of there saying, "Man, that was really fun."
Yeah.
Because I know they're skeptical, because nobody does anything. Who would do this? Nobody would do this.
What's up with these ideas?
Well, nobody would,
Disappear.
have this group that really doesn't exist come together a night before. But we've done a couple things. We've done a couple of alumni shows in the past, and it's doable. So
I like that you're a thrill seeker.
yeah, I guess.
Because I've seen you put together at events like people that, just all of a sudden it's like, have you been practicing, for weeks? No, we just met. I've seen that before.
Yeah, it happens.
That's the thrill seeker part, but it always comes together. So this is going to be exciting. So everyone, come on out, let's support and get those tickets. And this is actually a fun time. This would be fun to purchase some tickets for other people and take some,
Absolutely.
if you want to give a gift to someone, and send them. And this would be, you're always looking for something, and people are over whatnot. I mean, you have to dust them. You're looking for a gift for somebody. What a wonderful gift.
Yep, absolutely.
Outside the box. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Well, Bill Spencer Pierce, keep up the great work. And it's called the
Well, it's the Bohemian Supper Club Orchestra, which it's a fictional group, but that's the name. I stole the name from a guy at Madison he actually had a Bohemian Supper Club.
Okay.
It was like,
You borrowed it, yeah.
well, I stole it. But there's, in like Idaho, there is a Bohemian Supper Club. And you can look them up.
Okay.
Awesome.
That
So-
is awesome. Well, thank you for bringing that to us. And no, I mean, this is a great experience and going to be a blast, I know for sure. And seeing some of those talents and the faces and everything. And I know that you're being very modest because I know this was a lot to put together. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so keep up the great work. Laura, Salem Crossing, Meadowview, you guys keep up the great work over there too, and all that you guys got going on.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll get out of here and let's thank our sponsors.
Absolutely. We have Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Fox Philly Wealth Management.
Everyone, have a wonderful Friday. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Fuel prices are through the roof. America is relying upon our enemies for oil when we have plenty right here at home. Liberal policies are hurting working families, and Mike Sodrell believes you deserve better. As your congressman, Mike Sodrell will fight for America's energy independence. We need strong conservative leadership in Washington, and Mike Sodrell is ready to put his life experience to work for you. Paid for by friends of Mike Sodrell.
I'm Mike